What's up with you, man?
RL, ladies and gentlemen, RL. Yeah. All right, get your hands up, RL. Here we go.
Yeah.
My man.
What's up with you, man? Thank you for having me,
Good with
man.
your family.
Man, working hard. It's
How
good
are
to
you?
see you. I'm great, man. I can't
Good to see
complain at
you too,
all.
man. It's been years, brother.
I know, man. It's too long. I'm glad that, man. I'm honored, man. You have no idea the interview you did with Jimmy, man, changed my life. I was in tears watching, honestly. Like it really. I've had a chip
Really?
on my
Wow.
shoulder my whole career, thinking that I wasn't good enough for him to sign me, and to hear that, like literally for 25 years, I've been wanting to show him that, look, I got a little skills because I want to represent my city. He's somebody I've idolized. Listen, most of my life, you know what I'm saying? So for him
Wow.
to say that he noticed, my work ethic and all that came from him. People think Prince. My mother's
Yeah.
world with Prince. You know what I'm saying? They went to school together. It was super cool, but when I seen Jimmy and Terry in them suits and them hats, and they was always around the pretty girls and had the swag, that's what I wanted to be. So to see that, it changed my life, bro. Watching your show and seeing that, you have no idea, bro. I literally have been on a high ever since that show.
Man, that's amazing, because I saw what you had posted, and you said, like 20 years that you just wanted to prove to him that you had some skills.
Yeah,
And I said, wow, man.
25 years, 25.
That's absolutely amazing. And see, you know what, RL, and doing these things, man, you never know how you're going to bless somebody. Just from the stories. I told Jimmy, I said, man, let's get on here and play some music and talk about the backstories. I had no idea you was going to show up and be blessed by that.
Man, listen, my cousin is Philip Bailey, so I grew up around music. I love music, but some of my biggest influences is Jimmy and Terry. Like my cousin worked for them at Flight Time. Like literally, the first time I met Janet was because I got to come there for like the velvet rope thing, and I didn't think she knew who I was. Everybody was taking pictures with her, and I was like trying to be cool, and she was like, "I need a picture with him." And I was like, ooh. So it was like knowing that they come from where I come from, they gave me a belief that I could do it. You know what I'm saying? So they're my
Yeah.
inspirations, bro. So it's incredible.
So when you met Janet, was you already recording by then?
Yeah, we were out by then. I was invited to she had a thing at Flight Time for her album release. And all these different people trying to get in the picture, and I was just trying to be, cooling out a little bit. And I was in the picture, but everybody's moving me out the way, corporate sponsors and different things like that. And she was like, okay, now that I'm done with y'all, I need a picture with him. And I was just like, ooh, one of them feelings. Artists, real true artists know how to make you feel special, like you're the only person in the room. And she really made me feel that way. You know what I mean? So it was incredible.
Wow, man. So let me ask you this. What was it like growing up in Minnesota? Because there's been a lot of music that has come out of Minnesota. What was it like for you as a kid? I know you touched on, your mom going to school with Prince and all of that, but just for you as a kid.
It was hard because kids were real cruel. You know what I'm saying? It's even to this day. Like my middle name is Lavelle. Like my initials is RL, but I'm Robert Lavelle, right? My first and my middle name. And people will still try to call me by my middle name, but I didn't really have a lot of friends and things like that. I came up with a time either you're an athlete or you're a rapper. You sing or you soft. You know what I'm saying? Back then, if you ain't no ex-artist or a doughboy that had a studio, you know what I mean? You walking around doing you know what I mean? It wasn't no production. And luckily I knew somebody and I was able to go in the studio. They give me love now and I love home. I'm so proud of, where I come from. There is a lot of music that comes out of there, a lot of greatness. And there's a lot of new artists that are coming from there that I'm really happy to see, you know what I'm saying? So it was difficult, you know what I mean? I tried to commit suicide my senior year of high school. But that I learned to use all of that energy, all that doubt as fuel, you know what I mean? So really, maybe that was God using Jimmy and Terry to give me that fuel, because I really used that fuel all these years to keep going. Like, I got to show him. I got to show Big Bro, you know what I mean? So I honestly feel like maybe it was meant for me to think I was slighted. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So what was your self-esteem low that you wanted to take your own life? Like what was going on there?
I was verbally abused growing up, and I was, and words are really big, especially being a writer like I am. And kids were
Yeah,
super
yeah,
cool. You know what I'm saying? I still do, you never really totally get over it. You just find different ways, and you have positive people around you that really embrace you and push you and make you realize your worth. I think that's with anybody. A lot of times when you hear somebody got
yeah,
in some trouble, it's usually because of the kids they hung around, or people that they thought were their friends. I've learned, and I learned at a very young age, to keep positive people around me that uplift me. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's helped me. But you
yeah.
never get over that doubt. You never, especially as artists, we sensitive anyway. You know what I'm saying? So
Right, right,
you just fight
right.
through it.
Gosh, yeah, Eric Badu told you that years ago. I'm an artist and I'm sensitive
I'm
about my
sensitive.
shh.
Right. That's what it is. I think that's what makes us artists, because we can find the sensitivity in everybody else. Music is a powerful thing, you know what I'm saying? And I think that as writers and as artists, as performers, we put it all on the line. So I do think we super sensitive. Athletes too, though. You look at Kevin Durant, he had the burner account. We sensitive. You know what I mean? I keep it 100.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, man. So how did you find the strength, once you had that suicide attempt that failed? What was it that sparked you to motivate you? Because I'm quite sure, having low self-esteem, and usually there's somebody around us that helps us and pushes us along, but we still have to have that thing inside of us, that willingness to want to change. What was that
Well,
for you?
it was God, because I'm gonna be honest with you. I used to be a stick-up kid. Like, people look at me and be like, nah, my brother, if you met my family, you'd be like, wait a minute. I used to do things, and I always say if I got caught doing half the things I did back then, I'd be in a system, I would have never made it. I remember kids thinking I
Mm,
was soft. I remember kids thinking I was soft growing up because I wouldn't fight. They'd be jumping me, I'd cover my face. They'd be like, why ain't you fighting back? And I used to say, honest to goodness, I say, I ain't letting my face get messed up for my album cover. Somehow I knew. There were times that I've been on stage 10, 15 years later, and I would stop in the middle of a song because I had been there in my dreams as a kid. Like, literally, my mother has a younger brother, maybe about 2 or 3 years, and they had these twin size beds since they were younger. Me and my brother got
mm,
those beds. He got a newer bed because he was older than me. Up until I made it, I slept in a twin size bed. Up until after high school,
wow.
everything. I remember buying my first, and this hood had the backer bed, but they sent them. I didn't get the mattress. I can remember
Mm,
sleeping in between the frame on the floor. I was so happy getting my bed. Now, this is after I made it. This is after Too Close, after the deal. So
wow.
I just embraced that underdog role. And I think that's what pushed me. I used it. I learned to take it and say, I'm not going to be a victim. I'm going to use this as my fuel in order to conquer all the naysayers. So that's what I do. And so I'm a little petty with it. I want to prove everybody wrong. I got a little pettiness.
But I mean, you're gifted, man. And when I
Thank you.
saw your post the other day after Jimmy Jam, it kind of made me wonder, like, man, this dude felt like that after all that he's accomplished. And and I see now you're gifted, but a lot of times we can't practice what we preach. We can tell everybody else all the right things to do. But looking from the outside, we think people got it all together, especially when you have a level of success.
Well,
But
it's
you're
funny
still
because
dealing with it.
well, what's funny is you never know who's watching. We hear that growing up. Your parents tell you that you never know who's
Yeah.
looking, and you have to remember when I did The Best Man, I was the only cat that was in a group. I'd never had any solo anything. I think I had done Deborah by then, but I was still just a kid. You know what I'm saying? So the funny thing is,
Hmm.
it was supposed to be Usher at first, and then they said it was going to be Kevin Emmons. They had different iterations of what it was going to be. So when they finally settled on what it was, I literally just got off a tour that we didn't really want to be on, and we had to do it. And we had just got home literally that day. So they're like, Jimmy and Terry. And I was like, whatever it is, I'm going to do. And if you listen to the beginning of the record and the end, I'm like, just for my brothers in the hood and the high rises. And then in the end, I'm like, my
Yeah.
brother, all that stuff I made up trying to impress Jimmy and Terry. I didn't know that they were really watching me like that. I was going extra hard trying to be like, see, you should have signed me. Check this out. I was really like trying to show them. I was being so extra. I was on 100, so crazy. But then it was all these artists that I looked up to, Case, G, who's I've written for besides that, Tyrese, all these cats that I looked up to. So they gave me the confidence, and then they're letting me instruct them a little bit, give them ideas. And I'm just like, wait a minute, maybe I am good. Those are the kind of moments. Is that moment and the moment that I realized I could sing. Everybody says, okay, when did you know you could sing? It wasn't until we was on our second tour. It was
Wow.
Boys to Men, Casey and JoJo, Uncle Sam, even Destiny Child went on right before us. And then Maya did some of the dates. And I noticed that Wanye would come to the shows early. You know, most of the time when you're the headliner, you're not coming to no show early. You know what I'm saying? And finally I asked him, I'm like,
Right.
did you like the show? And he was like, do I like the show? I come early to hear you. I be practicing your riffs in the shower, getting ready before I come over here. And I was like, me? People don't understand just being kind and giving somebody their flowers can change their life. Wanye literally changed my life to make me realize after I'd already made it. I remember I didn't, sold some nice amount of records. I'm on a major tour. And for him to tell me that he's checking me out and I'm inspiring him, getting him ready for him to perform, and we the opening act, it changed me. So when I work with upcoming artists and different people, empowering them and uplifting them, because I think a lot of times we don't do that. That's why when I do a lot of interviews, I talk about 112. I talk about Jagged, Drew Hill. These are my competitors, they say. But I'm all about giving flowers and blessing. Like you blessing me right now. You have no, man, I'm honored right now to be on here on your platform with your audience. You let me come on.
Thank
You
you,
see,
man.
you hit me. I was like, when? Okay, what time? I was on here 6:59, bro. I understand, you know what I'm saying? So I want to pass that on. I want to give grace, man, for real.
Yeah, and I appreciate that, man, and thank you for accepting the invitation because I wanted to chat with you. I mean, it's been years. I still remember the last time that we actually talked. It was at the Lincoln Theater in D.C. And I had a mini disc recorder with a microphone on it. So it's been a minute, bro. And this dude probably don't even remember me, man. So many years passed by and there's so much in between.
You don't forget good people, bro. You don't forget good people. That's why I even came on. Like, you don't at all. Like, it's all about energy. And truthfully, people are always looking at success and how successful you are right now. Longevity is really a testament to the relationships that you've made and the people that you've touched. You know what I'm saying? So 20-something years later, for me to be here, for you to be here, that says a lot about who we are as people.
Absolutely, man. So look, you said you ain't know you could sing, but you already signed. You had to know you had some kind of gift. Was it songwriting for you more so than singing?
Honestly, I was a rapper first. I had a record deal offer for rapping. I was going to be a rapper until the guy at the studio I worked at, he was a singer. He was kind of famous in the neighborhood. And he told me I should just stick to rapping. And it was like, I've always tried to find ways to take slights as motivation. When he told me that, I was like, well, what you saying? I'm not good enough as a singer? Well, I'm going to get good enough. And I've always just tried to work on my chops and get better and better and study, the greats. So, yeah, I still be writing raps, messing around. Nobody ever hear it though, but I was a rapper first, man.
I never knew. So rapping, did that help you with your songwriting skills?
Yeah, because now it's to the point where I'm in the studio, and this ain't a flex or nothing like that, but I don't even write anymore. And when you talk about like some of our biggest records, it took Too Close took 20 minutes. Butter Love maybe took 30 or 40 minutes. It's like God had just really put ideas in my head. That's why it's hard for me to co-write with other writers, because by the time I come up with the first line, I already know what I want the story to be. You know what I'm saying? So I can already envision. It's almost like you ever read a book and it becomes a movie almost in your mind. You can see the characters and everything. It's like that when I write records. So, yeah.
Wow. So you already know the outcome.
A lot of times, man. Yup.
Man, that's so crazy. So you see, I know a lot of people like Neo and Michael Jackson, they said they see colors when they write. Do you see anything like that when you write?
I can't say colors, but I'll feel the emotion even when I'm writing for somebody else or anything like that. I try to take things from different people. I hear about how they're writing. And I'll see a story. I can already see, it's like a movie. I I can remember singing in the mirror, like, you know what I mean, imagining I'm somewhere else. So when I'm writing, I'm doing the same thing. I'm imagining the music video, because I honestly think music is really movies for the blind. And what I mean by that is, I have to paint a picture for you so that you can see it mentally, because every song don't have a video. So I have to paint this for you. It's almost like a blind person. They don't see the set. They don't know what this person looks like. So they have to envision it in their mind. So when I write records, I try to think of, okay, what if I was blind and I had to watch something? What sounds would get me? How can I paint this picture so that you can see exactly what I'm saying vividly? But honestly, I don't want to paint it too much where you can't make the picture yours, because the most successful records happen because you make the song yours. This is my jam. I went through that myself, and this happened to me. So I have to make it open enough to where you go, I know what happened to me. How you know that? And like when you go to church and the preacher start talking about something, you knew what you did last night.
Right.
Like,
He preaching to me. Right. He done stepped on my toe, ounce, pastor.
Right. Yes. That's exactly what it is. That's man.
True, man. That is very true. But you know, like one of my favorites, man, had to be like The Best Man. I think we was talking about that. Man, when I first heard that song, bro, I played that thing over and over and over and over. Gosh, man.
I was so scared, bro.
You know what, man? And I think a whole lot of people probably don't even know how many records that you've touched over the years. You
probably
Vandross. You work. Did you work directly with Luther when you did the song with him?
Yep, most definitely. And it was funny because I didn't understand how the game works with OGs. OGs would be like, oh, you'll see the splits and their name would be on there. You'd be like, well, you didn't write nothing on there. But it was that OG tax. And so what happened was I kept getting these splits and they kept sending it back to me. And I'm like, where's this 5%? This record ain't. And then finally I was like, if Unc want the 5%, just tell him to call me and tell me, because he can have whatever he wants. So he called me, I gave him 5%. It was really, I had to learn the game. OGs, they whatever you say, OG, whatever you need. So I got to work with him. I worked with Ron Isley. That was crazy because I had to emulate him. So you have to try to sing it like they're singing. So you try not to. You're in the studio, they looking at you, and you're not trying to be like. I'm not trying to like play. I'm just trying to imagine how you know.
Right. You don't be joking with Uncle Ron. That is
not hilarious. At all. Because
what about
not Mr. Big?
What about the stuff that you did with Jaheim? All the records that you did for him.
Yeah. Well, what's funny is Jamie just literally spoke over text because he thought I was saying that he was homeless or something like that, and I never said that. Like he's in a different place right now. That's little bro. But I was saying that me and him stayed at the back house, KG's back house, sleeping on air mattresses, struggling, and not saying he had to be there. What happened was I have a certain affinity for him because I remember when we first were getting put on, we all did a showcase for Clive Davis, and he signed Only Us. And I knew how dope Ja was, and I felt like he should have been able to be signed at Arista, but he ended up going to Warner Brothers, which is a blessing for him. But he would call me for records that I planned on keeping for myself. Anybody else in this world wouldn't have been able to get Just In Case or anything, or even Remarkable. Those were my records. They came out years later. What's funny is Just In Case was a mid-tempo. We double-timed the beat. That's one of my dad's favorite records because he said it reminds him of my grandmother. Just in case I don't make it. It wasn't an up-tempo. It was really like that.
Wow.
But once he called me and asked me for the record, I felt like we struggled together, and there was nothing I wouldn't do for Ja. The only regret I have is that because of management issues and different things like that, we weren't able to work more, and I wasn't able to work on other projects with him because I felt like I did some of the best work with him. Just in case, anything, and Remarkable. I wished I could have done more.
I never knew that record was for you. So did you kind of change it to fit him? Because I mean, it sounded like something that would have come from him, but I guess you probably had the same stuff with the street growing up earlier.
Really what it is for me with him, if you listen to with the difference between the records I recorded on him and the other ones, it was like, Street Love or, Ghetto Love. I wanted to give him records that were who he was becoming and not who he was. So I feel like the records I gave him, he could sing forever. I think he's one of my generation's greatest vocalists. I think that he still has room to grow and he can still continue to get bigger. I know where we are in the industry is where we are, but I just know how talented he is. All the other stuff, I know he talks about politics and all that on his page. I don't have nothing to do with that. I just know him as a great person who's super dope. And if he ever wants to do some more records, man, let's go. I just got working.
That's good to hear. Shout out to Major, who's in here. Major's incredible. I got to play
Major's one of my favorite. He's one of my favorite people, man. Like I played Major at my wedding. He already knows. Like I love Major. Like incredible. I'm mad because he didn't play me at his wedding. Dang, I'm just playing. I love Major, man. He's incredible.
You never know, man. He probably had you on his playlist. That dude, boy. Let me play one of my favorites right here from you that you did for Ja that I never knew. Let me make sure it plays. There it is. I think. Of course, everything acting crazy now.
Which one is it?
There you go.
Which one? Oh yeah, okay. Have anything.
Yeah, that's classic right there, boy.
Give it
up for that. Give it up for that. RL.
Anything I got, all of me right on the spot. Da 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 da. Let me tell you something funny. I ran out of words to say, so I just was like, I was writing. I was like, you can have anything I own. Work my fingers all the way to the bone. I was gonna write something else, but I was like da 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 da, and I was like, you know what? Keeping it. We just gonna keep it. So
and it stayed right, and it worked.
It worked.
You know, sometimes, man, you just can't force it, bro. That's what it was supposed to be.
Yeah, I tell people, I'm like, sometimes mistakes work. Look, I wasn't playing, but my mama loved me, so it works out. You know what I mean? I wasn't playing, so sometimes things you don't plan work out just right. So, hey, that's music.
You know what's funny, RL? I was at this event one time, and Yama Brown, who's James Brown's daughter.
I know Yama, yeah.
Yeah, and she brought some of his manuscripts from songs that he had written. And when you look at it, he had the E, ow, he had all that stuff written on his manuscript.
That's incredible, man. That's incredible. What do you do? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's crazy. That's amazing.
Yeah. So you fit right in the mold, bro. Let me give you another one that you wrote. Man, you created a soundtrack for our lives, bro.
Oh man, thank you, man. Thank you so much, man.
Right here.
Oh wait, stop this. Look, wait, hold on. Let me tell you something. I got to be honest with you. I got to tell y'all a story about this record. I have to tell you this.
Okay.
I didn't do this record. I did the next single, but this was our song. If you listen, I'm getting my Puff Daddy on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Doing all that behind the record, right? So let me tell you what happened. And I'm still mad about this. So KG, who I love, that's Big Bro, who put us on from Naughty by Nature. He brings the record, which I love the song, but I was like, it don't sound like a next record. But I got this other song that I think we should do.
I got that.
My group members say, nah, we want to do this record. So I'm like, no, I'm telling you, but okay, cool. So we record that record. Clyde Davis comes back and says, are you recording? I recorded by myself. He's finally like, you know, it doesn't fit y'all. So they gave it to Coffee Brown. They thought I didn't want to do it because I didn't write it. Guess what record they gave up?
What?
Whatever you want to do, love, whether I wrote that, and that was supposed to be for us, but they chose, which I love that song. I ended up writing Weekend Thing for them because the guy from the group, Falante, I'm the one that brought him to KG. So I can't take credit for that one. I love the song, but that's the only one that I didn't do.
All right, well, here's one that you did do right here.
Yep. Coffee Brown.
That's right. First it was Naughty, then it was Next.
The Weekend Thing.
Hey man, I can hear exactly what you're saying. You painted that picture there, bro.
Thanks, man. That's me growing up in a hair salon. So my mother owned a hair salon. So I always understood that women transform. I could see a woman arguing with a man, just lost her job. She would get her hair done and walk out of there like, you see me, confidence restored. And that's where I came up with Butter Love from. I was like, it's almost like when we get a fresh shave or a fresh cut, that feeling you get, it's like, you could be just getting over the flu or something. You feel just a slight bit better. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's always about that. So when I came up with that record, it was about the barbershop, getting your hair done, just feeling good about yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And cleaning that whip. You don't put them in the GS and everything. Even if your car dirty, you wipe the rims off, boy.
Got to.
That thing look clean. Put some arm oil on them things, boy. Lord have mercy. So you know, in talking about being in a group and being in Next, what was that struggle like, and how did the group form in the first place for you?
Well, I had been in so many different groups, and I just knew I preferred the group setting. Everybody thinks, you know, I want to go solo. I love the brotherhood. I love the camaraderie. I love, you know, back then you had the one guy who had the car, one guy who had the studio hookup, one that was stealing. I worked at Jeans West or one of them stores, so I would be stealing the clothes. So, you know, we had different people that was doing different things. Matter of fact, was it Oak Tree? It was merry-go-round.
Oak Tree.
It was
not
merry-go-round. Yeah, I was stealing all the Jinko Jean outfits. So you had different guys that had different roles. The hardest thing I think was they're real brothers. So I'll never be their brother, but we still together. I think that what happens is money. People always say money changes you. Money just really magnifies who you really are. And then what happens is success comes, and now I got my bread, I got my set of friends, you got your bread, and we still have our relationship. But say you come in the room and you don't know the depth of our relationship, and we joking, and maybe one of my group members is jonesing on me, and you don't realize that's just our relationship. Now you in my ear later on like, I can't believe he talked to you like that. And you got different people and pressures coming in and different voices. And I think that can divide you when all it takes is you all coming in the room together. Literally 10 minutes later, y'all laughing again, realizing that it ain't nothing. And I think for us, that was the big thing, is communication. I don't always like them. They don't always like me. But as long as we love and respect one another, we can go get that bag. And that's what we continue to do.
Right. And, you know, and it's crazy because you don't see a lot of groups nowadays, man. It was big in the 90s, but everybody had the same issues, especially when you start off so young and then you start to grow up. You got different responsibilities, different patterns that go along with your life. You're married, right. You got kids, you know what I mean?
Right. I think you have to learn, you have to realize that you are a walking, talking, dancing, singing business. There's not just us three that is depending on us. We have road managers, DJs, barbers, roadies, different people that we're responsible for. And once you look at it like a business, you look at these pop groups, the Stones hate each other. They can get on stage, don't get that back. Handle your business. We can always make up later. And I think that I just hope that these other groups learn from our mistakes, because there's a lot of bags that we passed up on being immature because we mad at each other. But knowing when that music come on and them dance moves come up, we right on step together. And you have to understand the blessing and take it as that. God put you here for a reason. If you want to look at God and go, I know you done gave me this, but I'm going to just say, no, I'm cool. You can't do that. I want to get to heaven, and I want God to look at me and be across the room on a cloud pointing to me like, I gave you something. You squeezed every ounce out of that. I seen you, boy. That's all I need. I'm good.
Yeah, you used it too, boy. I tell you. Let me do another one. I gotta do another one, bro. This one of my favorite next records right here. Let me turn it up. Hang on a second. Here you go, right here. I still love you, baby. I'm still for you, girl. I'll never leave you, baby. 'Cause I realize I need you in my life. Girl, it just ain't right what we said last night. 'Cause I know we didn't mean it. Feel the love is gone, 'cause we don't get along. But I can prove it wrong, girl, I swear. 'Cause every time I close my eyes, I see you. I wanna live my life with you. There is no one. You're all I need now. The only one I Man, what that do for you, man, when you hear that thing?
You know, there's a lot of stories behind a lot of those records, because people don't realize I never wanted, I didn't know any better, but I never wanted Too Close to be a single. And that wasn't supposed to be a single. They promised me that we would come with a record off the album called Stop, Drop, and Roll, because we had these little dance steps. And, I'm still learning the industry at the time. And Clive and KG really taught me that the club and grooves and all that mattered. Mm-hmm. But I never liked up-tempo R&B, because it was always about putting a rapper on something, or about the sample you used, and people didn't realize off of Too Close, that was Christmas rap, Curtis Blow. Dun, 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 dun. That's Curtis Blow. Yeah. And we didn't have like a feature on the record. But my biggest thing was saying, how can I take mid-tempo and ballad subjects and speed them up? So Wifey, Too Close, those was really like, Too Close should have been you talking about dancing on a girl at the club. That back then we was freaking. It wasn't, popping the boot. We was freaking back then. You know what I'm saying? We straight had the sweat ties and we doing all this. You already know. Come on, Kevin. You wasn't always married.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So the truth is, I didn't understand it, but once I understood the game and learned radio from KG and Clive Davis, it was over. And with that record, being able to, take the deal and Babyface and LA's record and flip part of that. And it was fun. You know what I mean? It was a little more adult contemporary for us, but it was something that we can continue to perform today, because Clive and Kay knew more than we knew. We knew when to just be quiet and go, okay, what we doing? You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I love the record. I love the fact that we all were able to sing on it. And now that I'm, you know, a little more seasoned, the groove, you know what I mean? Now I don't have to, because sometimes I don't want to do all them steps we still got to do.
Right,
Sometimes I'll be
right,
like, okay, now I get to just rock with you.
right.
Let's go. There we go. So
That's when you
it
just get
works.
that
It
little
really works.
two-step on because you ain't got that energy no more. Just that two-step. Like, give
That's
a groove on.
exactly.
Just one more again. Just one more again.
And
Shout out to
that's
Slim.
what it is.
Slim in here, RL. Shout out to Slim.
Oh, from 112?
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. Slim hit me a couple weeks ago and checked me. But let me be honest with you. He was right. Like, that's my brother. I've known him for a long time, and I know they try to say rivals or whatever. They got a wonderful new project out. But somebody had interviewed me, and they made a comment, and I didn't necessarily agree with him, but I kept going with it, and he had to call me and go, he put me, I can't say check, but he told me what he needed to tell me as a brother. And I think that's something we're missing. A lot of times we'll beef with somebody when we can just pick up the phone. I respect bro so much because he picked up the phone and was like, I don't agree with this. And before he could even finish, I was humble enough to go, you know what, bro, you're right. He has one of the most unique voices in the industry, and I respect him a lot. You know what I mean? And the truth is there's enough money out here and enough success out here for us all to eat. I don't care if we going on before 12 or if they going on before us, whatever. We can be backstage and love one another and respect one another. And 112 was my favorite group out of my era coming up. So, you know, shout out to Slim.
Yeah, that's it, man. He said Next had the cheat code to Clive Davis.
That's my brother right there, man. I love him. And that's not even just no talking in an interview. Like, that's my guy, like, for real. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to him.
Yeah, you know what, man? And to a point, what you said, there's enough for everybody. And, you know, like, I'm a firm believer, man, that you can share with somebody because what's for you is just going to be for you.
Agreed.
You ain't competition to me. You're not going to take what belongs to me.
Agreed. And I honestly feel like when you bless others, God see that and you bless back. That's why, again, I'm talking about, you know, 12's new EP. You see what everybody go through. You see the landscape of music changing. And truthfully, we represent each other. When you see me, I'm a guy from one of those groups from back, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah,
and the truth is, we have to represent one another. I'm an extension of him and he's an extension of me. You know what I'm saying? So it's all love.
Right, and exactly. And what kind of message do we give off? Particularly in the climate that we're living in now, we need to show brotherly love to one another. We're supposed to support each other, you know, because we give a bad message when we see beef between us that's doing the same exact thing. Why can't we support each other?
Well, my favorite saying, and I say this all the time, is I wish you well, I just wish me better. Now, don't get me wrong. I want you to eat. I want you to have that 2020 Benz. I just want that 2025 spaceship. Ain't nothing wrong with that. That's competitive nature. That's just, I mean, realistically, that's what it is. So I wish you well. I just wish me, even if it's just a little, I just want an extra little bit of Zatarang. Just give me one little shake of seasoning on there. But that's all it is. It's still love. I still want you to be able to feed your family, be prosperous, because if we all prosperous, ain't nobody hating. Ain't nobody looking at my check if you still counting your money. And that's beautiful.
I'm mad because you said you want the 2025 spaceship, though. Welcome to Wakanda. That is too funny, man. I saw somebody shout out this record right here. We got to play this. Because every time this one come on, I feel like I should get up and do a Soul Train line. Hang on one second. Here you go. This Soul Train line all day right here, dog.
Yeah, right. Okay, okay.
Good gracious. Hey, bro.
Man.
Hey, everybody in here done went back to the club off that thing right there.
Can I tell you, I was actually sending shots on that record and nobody caught it all these years. So on No Scrubs, they was basically playing the dude because he on the passenger side, right? Of his best friend's ride trying to holler at me. And I go on the passenger side because I let my best friend drive. So that's my answer to Scrubs. Like, nah, baby, this is my car. Don't get it twisted. So I'm basically saying, like, nah, you know you got the whip like you drive, bro, because I want to be out the window hollering. So I'm basically answering TLC, stand up on the side, the passenger side, because I let my best friend drive. He was there. That's my answer to No Scrubs. And I got a lot of flack from women for wifey. Like, they say, why not wife? Why can't it be wife? Why got to be wifey? Like, you don't want to be married? And I'm from the hood, and all I was saying was, like, there are guys that's saying things like, my credit ain't good, and we need to get this house. So if we married, that mess your credit up. Or I want to get you this ring. I want to get you these things. So in my, but I'm not at a place where I'm deserving of being your husband, of you calling me husband. So wifey wasn't saying you less than a wife. That's saying in my heart, you my wife, but maybe I'm not at the point that I need to be able to say that I deserve to be being called your husband. And I think women took it like it's a less than, and the truth is now I'm saying that I'm less than. I ain't where I need to be yet.
Yeah. So what made you feel like you got to that point that you turned into the good man, like the song that you wrote? Because you're a husband now and you're a father.
Right. Well, I got a son. He's 24. My daughter's 3. So, you know, I'm still working on being a good man. I'm trying to be a better man every day. With good man, it was just I had been through some things and I wanted to be better. So sometimes you have to speak it, and that was me speaking it so that I could become it. You know what I'm saying? So that's really what it was.
Wow. So what pushed you into like feeling like you was ready to be that husband? That point where you moved on from wife, you like, I could really be this guy now.
Well, truthfully, I tried it when I was younger. I was 25. I had been, you know, in a previous marriage, and she cheated on me with an NFL player that I hung with, that I sang at his wedding reception. So I didn't think I ever ready again. Oh, Lord. You know, because I had been so damaged and jaded. Well, truthfully, sometimes it takes somebody that loves you enough to realize you deserve to be loved. You know what I'm saying? So it's especially you deal with that, with low self-esteem, you deal with all these things, and being an artist and being, you know, super sensitive. You just have to look in the mirror and again have those people around you that are really pushing you to your potential. Because there's a lot of people that didn't reach their potential because people held them down or didn't uplift them. So it's all about having the right people around you, whether it's a woman, whether it's children, whether it's your friends, whether it's parents, whoever. Having people uplift you, I think, is the most important thing.
Oh, yeah. And, you know, there's no better investment than investing into another life, man.
Exactly. I agree.
No doubt about it. And, you know, my wife, I credit my wife as being my biggest cheerleader, bro. She has pushed me to do so much stuff. And I've been sitting back in the cut.
I seen the post, man, where, you know, you looking up. I see, you know, I'm watching you. I see. I'm loving that. That's what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? I'm just waiting COVID to be over. You have an anniversary. I'll be out there where you at. And I just come up singing like Rhyming Knight did, Martin and Gina. Never felt this way about loving.
There you go.
That's all I'm waiting. And that's a promise. So I give you my word. That's what we're going to do. When the COVID is over, I'm going to be like, let me know. We're going to do the serenade and all that. Because I see you posting, looking up, gazing up like.
Hey, dog, you know when you can post and you're not ashamed, you know you got something real.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Come on, man. Come on. I don't have to hide mine, bro. I'm in the game 18 years married. So that picture actually came from when we got engaged. right?
That's
And guess who
amazing,
sang
man.
when I got engaged? Case sang "Happily Ever After" when I got engaged.
That's my
He
guy
sang
right
that.
there too. So Case, I'm next now. Case, I got you. I can't compete with that, but I'm next. So when it come time for the anniversary or something, I'm there.
Yeah, we gonna make it happen, bro. So I wrote this book. I got to show this book, and it comes out October 2nd. It's called "From $6 an Hour to $1 Million Dream." So it'll be available on Amazon on October 2nd. Everybody, please make a note of that and support this, because this talks about the process isn't easy, but your decisions determine your outcome. You know, ain't nothing easy about trying to get to your goals and establish your dreams.
Ooh.
You just talked about part of your journey and the things that you had to go through. And it's a work in progress. We never really arrive.
Right, and I think the people that think that they have are the ones that slow down and get surpassed. So make sure
Come
you
on,
send
bro.
me a post so I can post it and let me know where I can get it when it come out, because that's what it's all about.
I sure will. I sure will. And I appreciate that. Let me take a couple questions out of here. I see some questions sitting in this question box I want to get to. Christy want to know, who is the chick on Wifey?
Oh, that's crazy. That's Lil Mo. That's Lil Mo. It's funny
Was that
because the
little
record was
Mo?
at the end. Will you be my wifey? All that. I was in the studio. The song was done, and I was like, you know what? I seen the popularity of when Tweet put Vernell from Coffee Brown on Step Back on Too Close. So I was like, that call and
Yeah.
response did really well with the audience and the women in the audience. So I was like, let's add to that, because if you listen to Too Close, I love when you shake it like that. I see the chick. Yeah, it was all of that. It was like, okay, how do you
Yeah.
keep the audience involved? So she came in and blessed us, and it was funny because she didn't ask for credit or anything, and she's one of the most female vocalists out there. So shout out to Mo, man.
Oh, yeah. Little Mo sing her face off, man. That girl can sing. Let's see what
Yes.
else we got. Let's see here. Please continue to make music that makes us close our eyes and think about the good times. Man, we got that in the
Oh, that's
classics and all
amazing.
that. You know what? And speaking
Right,
of
that's
making
amazing.
music, making music, you got the new EP, right?
Yeah, the letter J, yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah. And so he's still making music, ladies and gentlemen. RL ain't gonna let you down. And once you put your hands on that plow, you can't take them off, bro.
Man, I appreciate it, man. It's crazy because people say continue to make music, but it's people like you that allow us to use your platform. The truth is, I could do something stupid and a million people will know about it by the end of the day. But when you try to
Yes.
do something positive, put great music out, it takes your viewers and listeners to spread the word. So if you like the EP, please check it out. It's called The Letter J. It's for free. I'm starting at the beginning again. I want people to hear that hunger, hear that great music. And again, Jagged got the new project out as well. They got 30
Mhm.
records. 112 just dropped the EP. Please support it all, man, and tell people about it, because it's going to
Yeah.
take people like y'all spreading the word, man, for real.
Absolutely, man. And it's to be supported, because the 90s has had a resurgence, because grown people got left out of the picture, as we started to grow up. I said, man,
Yeah.
and I would listen to radio, like, why are we still playing stuff from the 60s? Because, the audience has a huge shift. When our parents started to retire, they'd be at home. They ain't listening to the radio while they're in the car. Most people are commuting listening to the radio.
Exactly. And I think that people don't realize how powerful radio still is. I know that I'll go into meetings with execs and they're not asking about a hit record. They're asking how many followers you have, or, what's your social media presence. And I still think it all starts with radio. I think that people like you are the most powerful people out here, man. And I just think that a lot of times artists take that for granted, and I never will.
Yeah. It is crazy how our gifts has been reduced to numbers and likes and loves. Why do we have
Yeah.
to measure our talent by how many people are following us and how many people liked our posts? And I
I
think
mean, it's crazy.
honestly, that's why the world is dealing with so much anxiety now. Because if somebody don't like their post, they fall apart. We're measuring our lives by the number of likes and followers.
Yeah, I agree. I also think that we don't have grace anymore. We want to cancel somebody. I mean, listen,
Oh my
if they had camera phones and social media out when I came out, I'd be the most hated person in the world, and a lot of us would be, because we didn't know what we was doing, what we was saying. It just ain't on record, okay?
Right.
I just think we need to have grace again because there's many a times that an OG. I remember Mr. Eddie Levert. I remember rest in peace Gerald pulling us to the side and giving us lessons instead of letting us continue to fail. And I think that we need to have that as well. Now these younger cats need to be open to that criticism from a loving place. But I honestly do feel like there's no grace anymore. We're looking for a reason to say something negative. We're looking for a response from something negative. And I think that once you have grace and understand that people are going to say stupid stuff, make mistakes, and you try to correct them first before you throw them away. I think that everybody is salvageable. I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
I think if you lovingly try to lead somebody, then things can work out in a positive way.
Boy, you about to go to the church in a minute, though. Oh, yeah, this is a good one right here. We got to talk about this, the Deborah Cox duet.
Well, it says that I write it. That's one of the only records in my career that I didn't write. But I can say that one of my favorite, most underrated people in the industry, Montel Jordan, him and Shep Crawford wrote and produced that record. He's one of the most slept on dudes ever, but he's, take it from me, I've met a lot of jerks in this industry, people that swear they cool and they really not. One of the most authentic, coolest dudes that I've ever met in this game is Montel Jordan. So I was scared to do the record with Deborah because, she was a powerhouse. She was one of the first women I saw with muscles. Like, you got these fit chicks all on Instagram now, but she had like those Wakanda arms already. She was like, I was a kid, you know what I'm saying? And Clive Davis was like, I need you to do this record. And I was like, okay, whatever you want to do. But I had never done anything outside of my group. So I didn't know what I was doing. Luckily, Montel and Shep got me in the studio. And it was the only record I had to record twice because I did it the first time on tour with Boyz II Men. They sent me to the studio in Detroit. I didn't know what I was doing. I just sang as hard as I could. It was like, you sound good, but that ain't it. Got to L.A., Shep and Montel pulled me in the studio, and we made history, man. And Deborah, I'm actually getting on with her tomorrow. We've only performed that record one time. I used to be so mad watching her and Kenny Lattimore would be doing it, and I'd be on some Eddie Kane. How does it feel to be me? I love you, Kenny, but I used to be like, come on, man, stick to never too busy. I'm never too busy. Let me sing my record with sis. So I talked to her tomorrow. I'm gonna get on her about it tomorrow. But I love Deborah Cox. I think she's so underrated, man. She's incredible, bro.
Oh yeah, she is. And I was teasing Deborah about that duet that you guys did. I said, man, it sounds like y'all ain't want to let the song go at the end. I said, hey, man, I'm going to have this last word. Hold on, let me get something. We never were to come around and not show her how dare we by shaking hands just once so good. I was your man. Good Lord, boy. And we were done. I'm trying to compose myself, but I just can't get over you. Boy.
That's crazy. That's man.
Good Lord. Yo, you own that song like you was really in that situation, bro.
Man, listen, sometimes I think of you. It's just another love in my past that didn't last, but it's not that simple. Baby, we can't be friends. We can't be friends. We can't be friends, 'cause I'm still in love. Man, I love performing that record. That's one of my favorites.
Boy, you better be glad I can't sing like that. I'd be up here all night just singing. Man, you better be glad. I know it's room for everybody, but you better be glad I can't sing like that. Boy. I can carry a tune on the bottom.
you got that Barry White. You got that Barry White though.
Yeah.
Can I tell you a secret?
I can just talk.
We gotta redo Secret Garden. Well, they just did that. We'll find another. We gotta redo something. We gotta do it.
Well, you know what's funny? Because I asked them, I said, who doing the deep part? I asked Omar. Omar was the one who put that together. I said, who doing the Barry White part? I said, man, come on, man. Y'all can't. I think Cisco did Barry White's part.
He might have that. It sounded incredible though, because it was that Sean Stockman on there. It was really dope.
Yeah,
I know Raheem. Yeah, that was dope, man. You know, I'm a fan of artistry. When you're younger, you try to find something to hate on, but at this point in my career, being creative, I try to be a sponge of everything around me. So I listen to everything from a place of appreciation. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so I'm listening to these cats. It's no more, oh, this is my rival, or this is this. So I enjoy music from a different place now. So it's just super dope.
Ain't it funny how you develop and grow into a man and the things that change in your life?
It's funny because things become simpler, even though life becomes more complicated. You know, you have children, you have families, but then other things simplify themselves, and because you look at them from a different place. And I think it's because it's not as serious. You're not as wrapped up in it because you got to worry about real life issues now. That's petty. Like we can let that go. Mm-hmm.
Right. We want to move on. All we want to do is get a nap every now and again.
Right. It's the little things.
Right, little things mean a lot. We ain't got to turn up no more. Let me see if we got anything. We got a few minutes left in here. RL the GOAT. I'm just looking in here, see what we doing. Oh, here's one. Who wrote Imagine That?
Me. Most of the stuff that we've ever done as a group, besides Too Close, me and Tweet wrote that together. But pretty much mostly anything else that we were part of, I probably, the guys let me write it. They were like, man, go ahead, do your thing. Go ahead and finish it. We know, is the song done? Like, so imagine that. It was one of my favorites, but it was at a time where we were, Jay was just starting the label, and you get to the point where it's all about promotion and marketing. And that was kind of that point where we was like, let's just take a step back and just hit the road and just tour. So, yeah. Yeah,
that's what it is, man. So once again, RL got a new EP out. Please support the music that he's been doing this thing for us for years.
Yes, please.
Imagine your life without music, and he giving it away for free. Somebody said, "Damn, RL, you fine. I love you. You can sing."
I appreciate that. Again, I feel like as an artist from my era, with my genre of music, all of us guys represent one another, and I just want to represent. The 112s, the Jaggers, the Drew Hills, all these great groups, the best that I can. So when you see them, you see me, and when you see me, you see them, because I do think that we're a reflection of one another. But I want to take this time to tell you, man, how honored I am for you to have allowed me to be on your platform. I understand there's a lot of artists that would love to be on here right now talking to you, and for you to, ask me to come on here, which I would have asked you anyway after seeing, you've had legends on here that one day I hope I can be. I feel like I've done some legendary things in my life. Not on the level of, to be able to say I'm following up behind somebody like Jimmy Jam and people like that I idolize. It's such a blessing, man. And for all the people that tuned in, make sure y'all continue to support his platform. I just am honored, man. Thank you so much, bro.
And thank you, man. I'm honored that you would join me, my brother. And brotherhood lives on forever. I don't care how long it's been.
Right, you already know.
Hey, bro, we'll definitely continue the dialogue. This won't be the last time. We won't make it 20-some years before we speak again.
I appreciate that, bro.
That's real. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for joining us tonight. My man, RL, please support his music. He's been doing it for us for a long time, and he has done some legendary things.
Thank you.
So follow him on his Instagram page, just RL. You can follow me at Cayman Kelly, and we get some more of this in. Just having a good time, and I appreciate you guys joining us tonight. Thank you, my brother.
All right, thank you, man. Be safe. Tell the wife I said hey.
You as well. Tell the family I said hey, man.
All right, most definitely. Peace out.
All right, good night, man.
Good night.